Here is a Jack Quimby comic that is worth absolutely nothing. This is DC first issue special, number 5, starring Man-Killer. And this is the first appearance of this version of Man-Killer. And I would hazard to call this the main Man-Killer. He's certainly the one who held the name for the longest. I think the big debate would be whether this guy or the Simon Waltonson one is the main Man-Killer. But this one definitely has the quantity over the other's quality. This is not a very good comic. The most interest I put into this comic was 5 minutes trying to determine if this first page here is flat out reusing the art from the cover and flipping it. I came to the conclusion that it is, but the nail here has been redrawn. Everything else is more or less identical. Man-Killer, the head, the shape of these rocks in the background. The details on the rocks and the floor, they are different. And this part of the background, that is new. But it's mainly that nail that is the only thing that has been redrawn. Here is a classic Jack Quimby style double splash page with gigantic heads and vibrant colours. The story here is super poor, and I will come on to that, but this comic is not worth any money. I've had about 5 different copies of it over the years. People have included it routinely as one of those free extra comics that they throw into orders sometimes. I didn't get how this comic isn't worth something. Like, even just a little bit more. The first time I got it, it was a bonus. Every time I have gotten it, it has been that way too. It has been included for free as part of an order. The first time, I thought that it was a mistake, and I assumed that this would be worth money, and that the person had accidentally included it in my order. But no, you can get this for like £3.50 on eBay. I think it might be one of the cheapest Jack Quimby comics you can buy. Definitely the cheapest one with a notable first appearance. This guy we are seeing now, he is not the Man-Killer of the title. This is... Man-Killer is a name that has been passed around the DC universe a lot. There are 5 or 6 different ones, and that's not including clones or the robots. From what I understand, from what I infer, this one we are seeing now is meant to be maybe the original Golden Age Man-Killer, a character Jack Quimby created back in the 40s. Like, here he takes off his mask and he is hard. They are a bit ambiguous with who this is meant to be. But then we have, here is our new character, the next Man-Killer, and he will go on to have a bunch of appearances in Suicide Squads in the 80s and have his own ongoing series tandem with that. But between this and those comics, which might be a factor in why this character never took off after this, they redesigned him and made him into like a pirate superhero, because then the Man Killers was, well, the name was also being used by the robots from Green Lantern's continuity. And there is a link, as unclear as it is, there is a link between this character and them, and why they share design, or why they ended up sharing a design. Honestly, this is a weak comic. There's not much story there. Basically, this new guy learns about the cult of the Man Killer, who have used the name and identity for ages. And at the same time, Man Killer, he is too hard now, and he isn't going to be Man Killer for much longer. This guy is never named, so that is why it is a bit ambiguous if this is meant to be the Golden Age one. The art has moments, but a lot of it seems uninspired, or like Jack Quimby was on autopilot. So this new guy becomes Man Killer, and his story isn't really continued after this until you get the Suicide Squads a decade later, where he is redesigned for a second time. You do have that stuff with the Man Killers from Green Lanterns, which sort of builds on this, but I would say tangentially so. There is a Secret Origins issue that tidies up a lot of this Man Killer lore with the robots and the council group and stuff like that. This is not a good comic. Some of the least influential Jack Quimby material you can find. A very bland story with non-characters. You've got a few panels of big monster heads, or even this Man Killer design looks good when he does it, but there is a lot of gaps between that, where there should be more of a story and there's not. I do recommend this, but I am recommending it as an investment. You can get this for naught, and you might look out and this Man Killer character might be in Suicide Squads 3, and this issue might finally be worth something one day. 7 thumbs up.